Just a few fellas on a podcast, riffing in the pitching jokes and sharing some laughs. Rob Ryan, Pedro, Jerry Bernstein. Ooh, they want to know if it's something, if it's anything. Often featuring Leedy Corbin.
Guys, it's been forever. We took a couple of weeks off from recording because Brett and I were on the road, and we thought that would be really difficult to try to record episodes. But now Rob is on the road, and fuck that guy. We don't give a shit. He's recording episodes while he's on the road.
Thank you, by the way, for not just being like, Brett's a little prissy about it, because you were totally fine with it. I was the one who was like, Mike, because I have a magnet system on my that keeps this camera, and I have to like hook up four extra things, and it's just like always a nightmare for me. And because my laptop's camera is like here, so this is the angle you would get from me on my laptop cameras, like that.
Hot. I love it.
Before we get to catching up, I do want to know how the shows have been going, Rob.
Ooh.
But I know there was something that you wanted to get to that I think is important, and I want to get that out into the world as soon as possible. So, do you know what I'm talking about, first of all?
No. I'm sure it's important, though.
Oh, my God.
It'd be great if we were like if Brett said all these things and you eventually like, I have cancer. Yeah, that's it. I completely forgot. I don't know why I forgot to tell you guys that.
And it was really important for you to get that out into the world before we start this episode of comedy.
Right. I remember now. Because a few weeks ago, during the last time that we were about to record before we went on our hiatus, I had just released information about my solo show that I'm going to be producing later this year. And I had a little promo video that I put out onto my Facebook and Instagram, and I was going to share it with you guys first. You were going to be the first people to see it, but that didn't quite work out just because of the timing, the way the episode wound up running. So no, I actually didn't think that I was going to go ahead and reshare it now. I wasn't sure if the people who follow the show, if they're aware of it or not, but the show is called Mascot, and we are doing a GoFundMe campaign in order to raise some money because I'm trying to put the show up in New York and get a theater space for it and get a director and a whole crew to make sure that the show is as good as possible. So
and this is the show that if you were listening earlier on in the podcast, this is Rob was working a lot of this material, and it is just it is such a cool show. It is the result of such hard, creative, heartfelt work. And I am so excited for more people to see it. I feel very lucky to have seen it in its early stages, but this is just, I mean, every time Rob has asked me like, how do you think I should go about this? I'm like, just get eyes on it because the work speaks for itself. It is such a good piece. I'm so excited to see it again, just for myself, but for more people to find out about it. It really, you may have seen bits and pieces, but it all together is just like, it's such a strange combination of great jokes mixed with absolute heart-wrenching, meaningful storytelling, just back to back in a way that I've never experienced before. So I definitely, you probably already know this if you're a fan of the show, but if you're anywhere new, I do want to get that genuinely out to our fans.
I appreciate that so much. There's a pitch video that I have, but nothing can compare to that praise that you just gave.
Yeah,
so
actually, I did have a few notes on your pitch video. I didn't buy it.
I just want to add on something to what Brett said, which is that I agree.
Aw, Jarret, thank you so much.
Let the record show Jarret agreed.
Everything Brett said plus one.
I'm right, Jarret. Thank you, Jarret. Your ditto meant so much to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, if you want to keep tabs on the show there'll be more information in the link to this episode for sure. And follow Rob Ryan Mascot, MASCOT. That's Instagram page solely devoted to that. And you can keep tabs on what we're doing there. And thank you so much for the pitch and the bump, you guys. That means a lot to me.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited that you pulled the trigger and that the wheels are in motion. I'm hype about this, man. I can't wait to see how things go.
now to like pull back the curtain a little bit, like it was so scary to do that. Every little step, there was a moment where I was like, oh, I have to actually do the thing. And it was like, I didn't know. I was like, I don't know if I want to start telling people, because then, it's like the clock starts running at that point, of like, well, people are going to be curious and they're going to ask questions, especially if you're asking for money too. So I'm like, oh, do you really think that this is, do you want to start this? Because there's no going back from it now. So that was kind of a nerve-wracking thing. But coming back out on the road, seamless transition into this conversation has been great. We did 4 shows already so far.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the rust off, working out. There's a certain amount of material from this show that I can work out on the stage. There's a certain amount of material that I can't. And I've just been negotiating how to get certain things in, make them work right. But the feedback has still been really nice. And there have been a couple people, I usually get a few per show, who really, it connects with them in such a way. It deals with a lot of it deals with alcoholism and depression and childhood trauma. So there's people who come to me with some pretty heavy stories. And so I just wanted to thank everybody who has come out to shows and has connected with it in some way. And the fact we can still make it funny, and then I could still do it on a stand-up stage, is just I'm so appreciative of, because otherwise I'd be a little screwed. But the shows have been really good so far, and I'm excited. We got another 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks on the road. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now, and we're going to be
a lot of alcoholism there. So you're selling crazy merch.
What's even funny, that's actually super true. When we find ourselves in more, depressed areas, wherever that may be, the audience is definitely connect with it more. When I find myself in more well-to-do spots, like a show that Jarret and I did, we did it at a vineyard. They were just like, "Don't talk about that."
We get one of those per family and we put them away.
This is, I don't know if you read the sign. This is a vineyard. We sell alcohol here. The thing that you are, your whole show about the dangers of how it destroys families. That's what you're taking money out of my kids' mouths right now by...
Money out of your kids' mouths.
Yep, my kids eat money. My kids eat money.
Oh, you plebeians, what do you eat?
Oh, do you take the money and give it to someone else who then gives you food instead? That's the difference between poor mentality and rich mentality. We're all about efficiency. We cut out the middlemen. I have I got a lot for the catch up, guys. So I don't want to.
Let's get right into it.
Some of us is going to have to wait until next episode because I just got way too much. But
I hope the first thing is really boring. It's just like, I had a salad today, and
well, this is sort of related. So this will all fold into itself. Is that Rob? So you are on tour. We just left tour, but before we left tour, our heroic. Our leader, our fearless leader, Steve Hofstetter, gave us all a gift, something that we could take with us away on tour. And that is a virus, a cold virus. So he got sick. And then the dominoes just started falling. A couple days later, Brett got sick. A couple days later, me and Leedy got sick. As far as I know, John Bander is the only untouched human being. And I don't know what he's doing to his immune system, but I'll have 2 of those, please.
He's just built up an immunity with Steve. He's just been on the...
He's just been so much. So because I'm still recovering, I spent the entire weekend just like super high. And I was just like scrolling through Instagram and I saw this woman's video and it was just like, her outfit was so just like white wasp, like rich, just like perfect Banana Republic, like I haven't just like high end Banana Republic. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what store it is, but the one where you're like, this is what Banana Republic is trying to look like, only the with money version. And I just started like writing this roast joke as though this woman was in the audience. Cause I was high. I was just in my brain going like, bitch, you look like you fuck money.
Got him.
And then I was like, I bet if I fingered you, I could get $1.85 out of there.
Oh my gosh.
So I was fucking killing in my brain of this roasting.
That's a different comic too. Jared Berenstein would never start a roast on a crowd member with "bitch."
Yep. Hi, Jarret. He's versatile. You know, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. But yeah. So, do you guys mind? I got this other thing that I want to share with you guys.
Not at all.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys. I hope that I'm doing a show with you guys one day and there's a woman who's dressed like this and I could just like bring this out as though I just thought of it and everyone goes, oh my God, $1.85. Oh God.
And I hope for our sake that you really hold the bitch too. Like you just start off and you go, bitch. Just so if Rob and I are close by, we go like, oh, it's happening.
And I can start doing this. Everybody, crowd's gonna get all amped up. Okay. I don't know if you guys remembered, but I premiered a new, a limited run series on this show, this limited run web series that I was thinking about called "I'm Not Crazy, You're Crazy." I kept those going. I don't know if I ever told you guys about like other episodes that I'm doing, but I'm up to episode 87 right now. Ooh, and cool. So I was wondering if you guys wouldn't mind if I just record a very quick bumper to an episode that I got going out right now. Do you guys mind real quick?
Great.
Yes, please. That'd be great.
Okay, sorry about this. I hate taking up time from this podcast.
To promote your other podcast.
Yeah, from my other from my other podcast. It's just gauche. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's completely gauche. All right, just let me get the since then the show has grown a lot and so there's
we should do a crossover episode.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be so awesome. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay. So first we have the theme music, of course, which
I'm not crazy. You are crazy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I'm Not Crazy, You're Crazy. I'm your host, Jarret Berenstein, as always.
All that.
Okay. All right. So, Robert Ryan.
Oh, man.
On a recent episode of Is This Anything, you made some pretty wild accusations towards me about the manner in which I invited you to my mushrooms party. Some claims which I believe, some of which were totally valid, but others which I claimed at the time were without merit. If you will, draw your attention to the chat window. I have taken the liberty of transcribing the relevant portion of the episode. And in the interest of objectivity, I'm going to ask Brett to read Rob's lines and Rob to read Brett's lines, just so that there's no muddling of what was said and how it was said. I want to make this as objective of a process as possible.
This is a transcript from the television, from an episode of our show.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So here the dialogue has been cut and pasted into the chat window, and so
excellent. Okay. So when I see the word Brett, I'm speaking.
Rob speaks. Yeah.
Excellent.
This is what Brett has said.
This is what
on
Brett
the episode.
said.
Yeah.
Excellent. We could have had Leedy do both, but this is not confused. This is fine. Brett. Okay. You were very vague. You were just like, be at our place at 1:30 and we're going to do drugs.
Which I hate. So I was just like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? And he's like, just come to my place. Oh, and there's a boat. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean there's a boat? I asked 3 times what the hotel was.
That's not true.
He's like, yeah, we're going to a hotel. I'm like, yeah, where's the hotel? He's like, well, yeah, come to my place. I'm like, yeah, where's the hotel? And he's like, you know what? We're going to get on a boat first. And I'm like, we're getting on a boat? Where the fuck is the hotel, man?
All right.
Oh, boy.
That is the relevant portion, which I find very interesting. I think it's very interesting because listening to that, one would think that based on that no human told Rob Ryan what or where the hotel was. If that is the case, Rob, then how do you explain this text message?
Oh shit.
To Rob Ryan, text to confirm the party on 3/19. We're planning on starting around 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And we're going to be chilling in a suite at One Hotel Brooklyn Bridge. Not sure yet if we'll meet there or at my apartment. Probably at my apartment, and totally cool if you are still on the fence about coming and or imbibing. And then your response, yeah, let's do it! Exclamation points. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. All right, that's the episode. Thank you guys so much for putting up with it.
Because I have not been able to redo an episode of my show. Yeah, you definitely don't look crazy, dude. having a screen share and a transcript for other people to read in a confusing way makes you look very normal. Oh my God. And I'll be recording that episode right now. And
okay. Can I add an edit to just the title of your show real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I forgot to mention that I made a theme song. That also does not make me seem crazy at all.
I love it. I stand corrected. You told me where the hotel was.
Mm-hmm.
And seemingly early on, right? It was in March.
That was
10th.
March 9th, and
March 9th?
that was a full 10 days before the event.
You nailed it.
All right.
I was hoping, Rob, you would be like, "You're right. I stand corrected. You did tell me where it was, and also Brett looks like a vampire."
Was that the first episode? Oh, yeah, I guess that was the first episode of I'm Not Crazy, You're Crazy. I've just done so many, I forget sometimes. Wildly popular show, by the way. It is really blowing up on Scoosmoose. Scoosmoose is the new app that everybody's talking about. But yeah, so that is not the main part of my catch up. I just wanted to do that.
That was amazing.
Talk about tour. It was great. Tour was so much fun, but we all got sick.
Yeah.
Thanks to Steve Hofstetter, who got us all sick. And I got to say, I really lucked out with the timing of it because I got it on the very last show. I got it at the point where I was like, this is right about to start affecting my ability to perform my own material. So I was able to muscle through that. I was able to muscle through the merch line. And then things really started to get bad for me like the next day, which sucks because I was traveling, but I was able to take some edibles to mitigate the unpleasantness of that. So it wasn't too bad. And I just spent like the entire weekend high, just like as part of the recovery. I still got a little congestion in here. I don't know if you guys can hear it a little nasally, but I'm feeling a lot better. And Kirsten's back. She got back this morning. And so I'm feeling better. Kirsten is back. We're both home. We're both happy to be home and together. And the tour was super fun. So there we go. That's my catch up. Wahoo!
Yeah, I got it I was the first to get it after Steve. And it was just like, man, it was such a damper on, because we were now in this Sprinter, which is so nice, and such a change from the bus that we were in. And it really makes a huge difference on tour because you're spending a third of the day in that almost every day. Yeah. And so it being comfortable and easy to drive, it just makes a world of difference. And it was just like, yeah, great. And then now it's like, okay, we have to sanitize everything and put masks on constantly because Steve is dying in the back. And we don't want that to happen to us. And then it was like, now I'm wearing a mask and like I'm stuffing, like my nose is so chapped from tissues. I'm like, blowing my nose, it's running so much that I'm stuffing tissues up there. So I have to blow my nose less and then put the mask over it. So, I don't look like a fucking walrus. It was just like, yeah, it was brutal, but the beginning and the end of the tour were so great. Just such great shows. And fighting through that was not the best, but still great shows and just a lovely tour.
The way that I felt on Friday and Saturday, I was like, I'm so glad I don't have to do a show. I felt so bad for you guys who had to like muscle through like the worst days of this and perform and sell merch and talk to people afterwards. Like that was fucking, I feel for you guys.
I ended up skipping the merch line when I was at my sickest because I was like, this is just, as much as I sanitize my hands and wear a mask and stuff like that, I was just like, I feel like, first of all, I feel like garbage and I don't want to be on the merch line. But also I just like, I don't want to spread this to anybody else. So yeah, that was rough, but a great tour overall. While Leedy was mending, we watched True Detective season 1, which
great
we had never
season.
seen. Man, I haven't watched it I think since it came out. There's nothing as good as that.
I love Rob's typing noises.
Oh, sorry.
True Detective season 1. Hold on a second. Let me just want to bang out check out a review real quick so I know what we're talking about.
I was doing detective work.
Hack into the HBO website, see if it is still available.
I tweeted this, I think, one time. I'm curious, like, is there like a right amount of fentanyl to take? Like, because people are always overdone. I'm like, there has to be the sweet spot where you're like, oh, that's pretty good, actually. I just got a little buzz, not too crazy, not dead. Heart didn't stop. 10 out of 10.
I think if you can get a consistent stream of Heinz ketchup out of a glass bottle, you can probably do fentanyl right. But most of us have either nothing or it's all coming out. And I think that's probably the same relationship with fentanyl.
It's just in a ketchup.
And I've overdosed.
What an excellent analogy.
Just like one of those, it's like one of those showers where you go too much this way and it's freezing cold, but you go too much this way and it's piping hot.
Right.
That's fentanyl for you. It's like that. I don't feel anything, and that I'm dead.
Oh my God.
That is so. I love the idea of some drug dealer out there just has all of his fentanyl in a glass Heinz ketchup jar. He's just smacking it. Oh boy, I did too much on this batch,
And it just goes right into the veins. It's like, that's too. Oh no.
What have I done?
Well, are we ready to get to these bids?
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Wait, Rob, what were you Googling when I was talking about True Detective?
Oh, I was just taking down a note. Actually, I forgot that it was so clickety clacking and I couldn't find my phone right away.
I thought maybe the note you were going to take was Brett liked season 1 of True Detective.
We got some guesses here. Jensen on the Loose says
Ooh.
Rob, Brett, Jarret, and Axeman says Brett, Rob, Jarret.
Wait, what was that?
Axeman 56 says Brett, Rob, Jarret.
Well, guess what, guys? We have our first winner in Guess the Order! Axeman nailed it! This
And
segment
that
brought
was-
to you by I'm Not Crazy, You're Crazy, the Jarret Berenstein podcast experience that has blown up across the nation.
And so thanks to that podcast for donating the $50 gift card that they will give to our winner.
What,
All right,
sir?
Jared, you'll take care of that. Congratulations, Axeman 56. You rock. You're our first winner. This is a historic day, and we're glad you could be a part of it.
We got to think of something for Axeman.
Yeah, we're gonna do something for you. BRJ, was that what it was?
What's BRJ? Yeah, Brett, Rob, Jarret. That is the order for today.
Wow.
I was looking at
What
these
is that?
comments and I was like, BRJ? What the hell is that? You right. Oh, the order that he guessed correctly. Okay.
That's funny.
All right.
All right.
Brett, Rob, Jarret. Brett, Rob, Jarret.
Okay, let's kick it off fun style. Just talking while I stall. Okay. When I hear somebody preaching about Jesus, like on a sidewalk nowadays, I'm like, yeah, dude, we know. Like, somebody's like, have you heard of Jesus Christ? Like, who has not heard of Jesus Christ? It's almost like you're the opposite of a hipster that's like, I knew him after he was cool. But I don't know, that idea just tickles me. It's the idea that like who is the person that you think is going to walk by and be like, oh, what's that about?
My only critique is that you said that this was going to be fun style, and I don't know if that's how you read this bit. Brett.
Let me try again. Who the hell talk about Jesus these days? It's like, whoa, come on, everybody's heard of Jesus.
Bitch, you look like you fuck money.
Oh my God.
It was more fun. I like this concept. What I would find funny is the person who has not heard of Jesus, and that's pretty remarkable. Like if you let's say you're traveling to New York for the first time, you haven't heard of Jesus, and some guy's like, hey, have you heard of Jesus? And you're like, no, I haven't. And then he just starts telling you this story. I mean, I'd probably be wrapped for like 2 hours and be like, get the fuck out of here. Are you, what did you just say? What, he gave everyone fish and bread? But you said there wasn't enough. He's like, he made enough. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it would just be really fun to watch that person just slowly be like, and the water was just water, right? It wasn't anything. Oh, he's like, I know, just wait. Like it's a cool thing to learn about.
Well, let's take this guy because I love that concept. Let's take this guy on the full journey of how Christianity started and to now. And so the guy's like tell all these amazing stories about Jesus. And he's like, and then here's the most amazing thing is that in order to clear all of humans from their sins, he agreed to be crucified. But how does that work though? Like him dying erases our sins? Yeah. I don't understand. Like why? Like he dies and none of our sins count from that point on. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't. It feels a little like everything else was so amazing and made total sense. Hungry people need fish. Gotcha. Sick people need to be cured. Gotcha. Can't walk on water. Jesus can. Amazing. I just don't understand how. Like, could I do that? Could I be like, when I die, no more sins. Everybody's sins are canceled. Could I do that? No. He can only do that because he was the son of God.
So I like both of these ankles, but I want to avoid retelling like him just kind of reiterating. I think it's not enough for him to just be excited about it. And then I also don't want to shit on Christianity with it.
Yeah.
So what if the angle is like the guy who has never heard of Jesus Christ is not somebody you would want to be part of your religion?
Oh, all right.
How whacked out would this guy have to be?
It's so hard because the guy proselytizing in the subway is that guy. So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around who's crazier.
The crazy Jesus guy on the subway goes up to somebody and is like, do you mind pretending to know me? I'm trying to get rid of this person here. Oh, hey, what's going on? So good to see you. You want me to leave with you right now? Okay, say so.
Yeah, because I feel we're going into a different territory entirely where you're now talking about, who's going to out. I mean, at least it's where my mind went, is that who's going to out crazy the guy who's like, have you heard of Jesus Christ? Because I think you're kind of calling him a little bit like, you're a little daft to be thinking that no one's going to already know. It's just a matter of like, how loud can you be, and et cetera. But I do love the idea of it being novel to someone. And I guess I'm just curious about who that person is, how they would react. I know you're not kind of loving that angle per se, but it is.
I guess I just need more justification maybe before I can enjoy that excitement about learning about this stuff. Like I need a reason why they have never heard of Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you have to justify that person or not.
I was born in a sex cult. This is my first day out. I was just rescued. My dad / Messiah and everybody in the cult killed themselves 13 hours ago. I was the only survivor, and I was brought here to live with my third cousin. So
did you say Messiah? Because boy, do I got news for you.
We don't say that name anymore. Wait, Messiah, because that's what Jesus is. Oh, so I suck his dick. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I liked that. I like going a really extravagant, complicated way to explain this person.
There were like those people from World War II who like didn't know that the war ended for many, many years after that. You know, there are some stories that you could come up with of some isolated people for sure. But do you want to keep on making fun of the guy himself too, who's doing this thing, or was kind of your direction to kind of shift focus to this person?
Yeah, I think what just tickles me more is I like examining both of them as idiots. But I don't necessarily want to shit on Christianity. I'll infer the stupidity of religion and just that these guys are involved with it. But I don't want to go directly in that way.
I can appreciate that. Okay, so let's go back to the guy then. I think his pitch is weird. Like, it's okay to teach someone about a religion, but why are you asking with "have you heard of"? You're like, yeah, of course. It would be like McDonald's being like, "Have you heard of the Big Mac?" You're like, I know what it is. It's not a matter of that. Right. It's like, it's just weird advertising. Have you heard of McDonald's? You're like, yes.
It almost feels like a jury selection question, because even if you've heard about Jesus, you're already probably like in the negative camp, you know. So we don't want you on the jury if that's the case.
You know what's really funny is like whoever this guy is who is like totally enticed and hasn't heard of Jesus, he's only going to be loyal to Christianity until he learns about something else that everybody knows about. Like, for example, McDonald's is like it's like, oh yeah, or you know, you can't have meat and cheese together. Like, oh yeah. But then he has like a cheeseburger and he's like, Oh, fuck that. Have you tried this?
You know, I just thought of is like the question is so outlandish that if somebody were to, almost like a coming to America type of moment thing, but if somebody were to genuinely not know, it would seem like they're trolling. Like there's no way. And then this person wouldn't believe him. You know, like, have you heard of Jesus Christ? And you're like, no, I haven't. Can you tell me about this person? They'd be like, okay, buddy, just keep moving on. You're like, no, I want to know.
I want to know.
Who is Jesus Christ? Like, okay, you know what? I got a busy day, man. Like, no, like there's no way.
He tries to ask somebody else. And that is like, it's like, don't bother answering, because if you say you don't know, he's not going to tell you. He's being a dick about it. This guy's just teasing people on the street.
Absolutely. This is great. And this is exactly my point. It's like, who is this person talking to? Who is the ideal candidate for you?
That's so funny.
Great stuff. Thank you guys. Love it. Next up, we got
Ryan.
Hey,
all right.
I've got a line here, like a one-liner type thing, and then maybe I'll do another little bit that I want to work on. My friend, she has resting bitch face and active bitch face. She's a bitch. That's that.
Are there any other stages between active and resting? Because I love this joke so much, I just wanted to keep going with more qualifiers for what kind of bitch face she has.
I don't know if there's anything in between, but there might be more pairs, like you said.
She has breaking up with you bitch face.
Oh, that's funny. Where you're just upset with her, the particular things that upset you.
Yeah.
If I did something egregious and this person's just mad at me, like, oh, she has such a bitch face. Whenever I do this horrible thing to her, yeah, you should see her face. Such a bitch.
I wonder if you could do like, so you do, she has resting bitch face. She also has active bitch face. She's a bitch. And it's not, like localized. She's got bitch face, bitch foot, bitch hand, bitch arm, bitch brain, bitch spleen.
And she slaps like this.
That's perfect. I love that. I was like, can I say bitch slap? I was like, nah, bitch slap's too much. To just do the act out. And she slaps like this.
I wonder how somebody with resting bitch face, if they like really love using emojis, because they're like, oh, thank God. Or if they send an emoji, people are like, oh, still, they just see the bitch face in it.
It was a smiley face. It was a smiley face. Yeah, but when you do it, it's like,
I'm imagining your face. So, yeah, friend. Yeah, and I say friend. Maybe I could say boss too at some point. Just kind of lighten it slightly. People don't like their bosses.
Grim Retail's had a funny word: perpetual bitch face.
Perpetual bitch face. Wow, I didn't know that science was able to crack that.
There's kinetic energy and potential energy. So you could maybe do like, potential bitch face and kinetic bitch face also. I'm just trying to think of more, because I think the qualifier is so funny, like active bitch face to me sounds like, I don't know, she's playing sports,
Right. Well, this resting too.
So there's resting bitch face when she's not doing anything, but then active when she's talking or
like
smiling or being a bitch.
Her bitch face cannot be created or destroyed.
Yeah, I like a resting an active heart rate. So it's like if scientists are like checking her, they're like, first you just need to like relax for 60 seconds so we can check your resting bitch face, and then we need to get you on this treadmill so we can monitor your active bitch face.
Do you know the test where you have to blow out the candles by blowing into the thing to check your lung capacity?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like they gave you that thing to blow into, and now ask to see the manager. I want to see the manager. I want to speak to the manager.
She gets a Fitbit, and for some reason it just says, you got 1,000 bitch steps in today. She's like, what's that?
Does your Fitbit add bitch to everything?
Do you have a Fitbit?
Or she does something to, I do something to make sure that, I don't know, I'm trying to get to saving bitch face, but I don't know how to do that. It's just in my brain, like saving face.
Saving private bitch face. I don't know. I'm just I'm not really here, guys.
We did it. We did it, everyone.
I'm sorry.
It's funny you said that because my brain went there too, and if it's saving bitch face, I was like, oh, that sounds like something else. And then saving
I
private
just
bitch
couldn't
face.
get it out of my head.
Saving
say
face.
it.
Saving bitch face. Saving private bitch face.
It was so funny.
Private bitch face, and we go. We find the wrong bitch face first. We're like, no, that's not him, and we gotta keep going further.
Your private bitch face? Yeah.
All your brothers are dead.
Good.
God, what a bitch.
All right. So all your brothers are dead. So we're sending you home. Good. All right. Later, losers. You guys suck. Fucking hate this battalion. This war is dumb. I am out of here. Sometimes my friend will do something bitchy, but you know how sometimes you're like not sarcastic enough, people will take it for face value. So sometimes she'll be like really bitchy about something, and then people will think that she was just being nice. So then she'll just like reiterate that she was being a bitch, you know, just to save bitch face.
Ah, that's good. I like that.
It's really long, but you know, that's the idea.
Yeah, I couldn't think of like, how do I get to saving face like naturally? I couldn't. I've never had to think of a scenario where I come to that.
She gets invited to like a children's party, and she's like, "Do you have any bitch face painting?"
Oh wow! So look, they have bitch face paints.
But she joins that exercise program, Barry's Boot Camp, and the instructor's like, about bitch face.
All right, I got one more here. And okay, I hate when politicians always talk about their budgets over 10 years or how much something's going to cost over 10 years. It's just a weird way to, like, even if I talked about my Taco Bell budget over the next 10 years, it's probably in the billions. So they're always just using that number. That's it. That's all. That was my thought.
It always is going to sound exorbitant if
Yes.
you talk about it over the course of 10 years.
10 years,
you
yeah.
know?
We're going to save $600 billion over 10 years. I'm like, what's with the over 10 years? Nobody talks in those terms, but politicians always do. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's like politicians might as well say for 10 small payments of $59.95, we too could have a stronger military.
If you've got somebody who is arguing against Medicare for all, they will tell you how much it costs over 10 years, but they'll only tell you how much money you save per day.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, it's going to cost $1.2 trillion over 10 years just so that you can have an 80 cents a day saving.
So anyway, that was really it. And my mind only went to things that I might go to my roommates and just be like, hey man, you know, if you keep using toilet paper like that, we're going to spend, and then I calculate how much it's going to be over 10 years. You know, hey man, you stole I couldn't help, you drank the last of the milk, over 10 years, that's costing me $565. So do you not maybe do that? Something
That's
like
great.
Yeah,
I really like that.
A regular New York City rent. You're looking at an apartment, and it's like, oh yeah, this place is nice. I love the how high the ceilings are. What's the rent? $240,000 over 10 years. It's a little bit more of a step away, but I think that it's a funny idea to then start thinking about like bulk, because you could just do like, how much is a taco? And then the Taco Bell's person is like, oh, over 10 years, blah, blah, blah. But if they have all the prices listed as like 1,000 tacos equals this, and then sort of like forcing you to try to like figure out what one costs based off of that. But, some for the brain bucket.
So
Thank
what
you,
are,
Leedy.
when politicians are using this technique, what are they trying to accomplish? To make something sound more exorbitant than it is?
Or less, depending on,
Or less? Okay.
Yeah. How much? Because usually I hear it in terms of like, this is going to save us X amount of dollars over the course of the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then, when people are arguing against it, they usually throw the number out over the course of the next 10 years. It's going to cost us that much. And then sometimes that's just how they talk. Like it's just, right. It's silly to think in terms of 1 year because it's a program. It's going to last a long time. So whatever. So
what is a more personal thing to you that you would want to make sound bigger or larger? Like if maybe a woman's like, how many women have you been with? And you want to make it sound less. You're like, well, only like, half of a woman every 3 days, or whatever weird. You would do, you could. I think that in the joke format, you can easily go. It's just weird to break things up in those numbers instead of just give us the real list of things to do. If I did that, it would be weird. For example, if a woman asked me something like, or something more personal to you that you would want to make it, and then you can just give the bizarre example.
All right, cool. That was great. Yeah, good linkage there of different ideas. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Great.
Rob Ryan. And now it's time for us to talk about the Patreon. Patreon.com/is this it? Guys, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm still high. I don't know. I haven't had any weed in hours. Hours doesn't sound like a long enough period of time, but it's been
Uh,
I don't know
More
how I
than
could
a day.
possibly be high. It's been 3 hours since I took 14 edibles.
the last time I took an edible was last night. So I shouldn't be high anymore, but I definitely feel high still. Patreon.com/ITA pod. Lots of great exclusive content on there. Excellent tiers, and bonuses, things that you can get for those tiers. I'm trying my best, guys. I don't know. I think I'm just tired or sick or what.
Let me do it.
All right.
I think
guys.
everyone's okay.
Patreon.com/ITA pod. I want snacks. I really go for some snacks.
Oh man, I feel bad for everybody.
All right. So that wraps it up. Patreon.com/ITA pod. You all know what the deal is, just based on what happened. Next up, we got Jarret Bernstein. All right. I only got dumb things for you guys today.
Yes.
I like it.
All right. This is a silly little tag that I have to my joke where I go through all the different things that are wrong with my body. All the different things that go wrong with my body. I got fatty liver disease, flat feet, chronic gingivitis, acid reflux, allergies, asthma, burning foot syndrome. I have a thing called burning foot syndrome, which is a disease you can only get by pissing off a witch or not figuring out a riddle. It seems like people who do magic love riddles. These people who alter the fabric of reality are like, all right, a father and son die in a car crash. I like to think that they don't know the answer to their own riddle and they're only asking because they don't want to look dumb in front of their nephew. This is like a troll. It's just like he hears a riddle and he's like, I know this one, but I'm just going to go hang it under a bridge for a little while. Just, I got an errand to run. And then a night comes over and he's like, you. That's my dumb idea. What do you guys think?
I like that. I love the further exploration of who the person is who is coming up with the riddles, the gatekeeper using riddles, and all the problems that come with it. So I would fully explore. It's just like if someone knows the riddle, I mean, that's it. Now they just know how to get in, and they can tell anybody. It's not.
Don't tell anybody.
Hey. Or if the riddle's too easy, they're like, oh, damn it, man! Like 20 people got in today. I should come up with something else.
Well, when the troll's got to go pay money on his shack, and he's like, "I've got 5 riddle answers, and they're all the same because I used the same riddle. The doctor was the mob. That's it. I don't take riddle answers. I don't know what you want from me."
I like the person who's sitting there like going through their different answers. They're like, was it a broom? Was it a monkey? Human? Oh, was it the mom?
Justice. Not justice. Okay.
I know I got it here somewhere. Is it the janitor of riddles? You have to go from door to door. Yeah, if you're a janitor at like, I don't know, Hogwarts or something that's magical. You're just trying to get in every door, and it's like every door is a spell or every door is a fucking riddle. You're like, boy.
Like his keychain, one of those things is like, make a mermaid noise. Okay. So that's a silly little bit. But I also had a question, which was that I feel like the burning foot syndrome thing could get a bigger laugh. So I've been experimenting with like how to tell that part of the joke. And so I did a bunch of different variations on the road, but this new one that I wrote was, which is a disease you can only get by pissing off a witch or not figuring out a riddle. Does that part read? Like, do you guys think that tracks?
Yes, I think that the witch thing is a logical step into the riddle thing. Mm-hmm. For some reason, pissing off a witch, I don't know why that wording to me is like...
Feels weird?
Yeah, I can't explain it. It just... I don't know.
Why does a witch put a curse on you? Because you make him mad, right?
Right. But I think that even that journey is still, it's inferring a little bit too much in an offhand line.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, I think you need to be more direct with being cursed by a witch. It's something you get being cursed by a witch. I think it may be just distracting from the idea in general, which is, this sounds like a curse.
Yes, right. Okay, I think Brett's stumbled upon it or nailed it perfectly. Where it's just like, we are missing that middle link, and you're trying to be slick about it, but maybe it's just one bridge too far. That I'm like, just say it, just say "cursed by a witch." That way, I'm 100% with you, and now you can get more cheeky by going into or not being able to, because now I can go from witch to troll pretty quickly.
I did have a separate thought, which is, do you know how much it sucks to have burning foot syndrome and you also have flat feet?
Because your feet are constantly
they're just
making
there's nowhere for the heat,
full content
the
with
fire
the burning
to escape.
surface.
Yeah, there's no arch.
There's no vent.
There's no breezeway.
There's no breezeway. It's very funny.
That's silly. I like that. You get a nice cross draft under there for when your feet get all hot. What are you talking about? My feet don't get hot. Oh, must be nice. All right, I got this other dumb thing to share with you guys.
All right, dumb things.
All right. I feel like if we ever were to meet aliens, I feel like it's important to communicate, to somehow succinctly communicate to the aliens how important our genitals are to us. So to that end, I have written the following speech. Humans are obsessed with their genitals. For example, some people are named Richard. You can call them Rich or Dick, and Dick means penis. Some people are named James. You can also call them Jim or Jimmy, and Jimmy means penis. There are also people named William. You can call them Will or Bill or Willie, and Willie means penis. This is my friend Catherine. You can call her Kathy or Cat. Cats, we call cats pussies, and pussies means not penis, vagina. Girls have vaginas. This is Julia. You can call her Julie or Jules, and family Jules means penis. Also, let me tell you about a few of our presidents: Harding, Johnson, Pierce, Bush, Polk, Bush, Carter. His first name was Jimmy.
I think
there's nothing here, right?
I think that would work for me if you also said, and that's just names.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
This feels like, I don't know why I wrote
Woodrow Wilson, Woody.
Oh yeah, there's another one. Yeah, this feels like a bit that like
Abraham Lincoln log
was like a Carlin bit and was like great in the 80s, and now it's just like boring. You know what I mean? I'm embarrassed by this idea, but I'm glad I said it out loud, because there's always a part of me that's like, this feels dumb, but maybe it's genius.
What if
Brent and Rob will tell me
farther links to get to this idea, and then through those links you discover that it's just you that's obsessed with genitals.
This is a remote control. You could fuck someone with it in their pussy.
You know what? This might be a me thing. You know what? I shouldn't have been the ambassador. I'm going to let somebody else take over. Somebody in the government or something.
Look at this. Look at this piece of toast. Doesn't look like a dick, does it? But if you just roll it a little bit and squeeze it down, look at it. You got a dick.
Oh
look at this. You got a dick.
Cut to the alien who's just like, when I said take me to your leader,
look at this.
I did not.
Look at this. This is like
Why
40 little dicks here.
Guy?
40 skinny little dicks, these French fries.
He's not your leader, is he?
One of the aliens just like, hey, how long is this walk to your leader?
Oh, we're going to my house first. Then we got to go back the other way. All right, we're just doing a little backtracking now. But I just want to get a glass of water, because I got a lot of penis things to tell you about. And I know that my throat's going to get dry.
There was a Rick and Morty episode where a galactic ambassador, he needed a heart transplant. But apparently their hearts are in the shape of human dicks. Jerry is the only person who could donate his dick in order to save this man's life, who is, like the Mother Teresa of the galaxy.
The Martin Luther King.
Yes, exactly. Way to take things away from women.
We as women would be happy if you would take Mother Teresa away.
Yeah, she was not a nice person.
Well, Martin Luther King was fucked a lot of women too, so whatever. And Gandhi raped little kids. Like, I don't know. That's
right. There's no such thing as being a good or bad person.
There are no heroes.
Everything is the moral gray area. Let's just kill ourselves.
Anyway, so Jerry agrees that he's going to do it, but then he ultimately backs out on it. And this really kindly, ambassador dude, he accepts it. He understands, and he's like, I knew he wouldn't go for it. The humans, they care too much about their genitalia. They make jokes when they're too big. They make jokes when they're too small. that was his
one of my
understanding.
favorite moments in Rick and Morty is like his speech about, and by the way, voiced by Werner Herzog. So the accent on that is, I am not surprised. I lived with the humans for a short time.
This is only tangentially related, but Rob, do you remember we used to joke about there was used to be a comic, Mike Cross, who hit some rock bottom. He was addicted to a few different things, and he would make these inspirational posts all the time. And he went out of his way to mention in almost all of these posts that he sucked dick. And it oftentimes did not fit at all. If I didn't know better, I would think it was a bit. It would be like, I remember when I was fat and I was sad, and now look at me. I read 3 books a day, and I run 6 miles every morning. And one time I sucked a dick, and now I don't. It was just like so unnecessary, so shoehorned in.
What?
It made me laugh every time.
He was always doing that. He's like, I was doing blow every day. I was sucking dick, and now blah, blah. Oh man, I was so low. I was depressed. I was sucking dick. Just different posts. It would be some different.
We have like a post in his cubicle, and he's like, first day of the job. Thank God for being clean. I'm so glad that I'm working this office job for money instead of sucking a dick, which I did one time for money.
God, this poor guy is closeted and wants someone to comment, it's okay to suck dick. Someone tell him.
Sucking dick is a really funny thing as like the example of like how hard up I was, because more than half of the population is like cool with sucking dick. It's what if I was just like, Rob, this is how hard up I was, Rob. I ate McDonald's. Can you believe? Oh God, thinking about it now. I gotta tell you, I'm so glad I did that penis one, just because it's been sitting in my draft pile for a while, and I was like, this is nothing. And now I know it's nothing, but I was able to tell you guys, I don't have to look at it anymore.
I don't think it's nothing. I think do it. Try the long-winded stuff out, the wordy, the stuff. I like that. Might be fun.
I don't understand why my fiance fights with me when there are so many worse people in the world. Like, why wouldn't she go find a murderer to yell at instead?
That is extremely funny.
That's so funny, in part because my head canon is like you just got finished getting into a fight with your fiance. I got a joke for you guys. Why does she fight with me? Why can't she fight with like a murderer? There's so many worse people. I'm sure murderers leave the toilet seat up. What's the deal with that?
What if I'm clearly delivering this joke off camera? I got a bit for you. Why is my fiance yelling at me for dumb shit?
Hey, you should hear Rob's joke about being a bitch. Rob's got this funny joke, honey. Come hear it.
Why is she always making a face at me like? I have a tag to this line that I think is stupid. Why wouldn't you go find a murderer and yell at him? Like, you're murdering someone? Do you even know what day it is?
Oh no, it's our anniversary, isn't it?
I do. I love imagining the fight where somebody is like, you forgot our anniversary. And you're like, O.J. Simpson killed 2 people. And you're worried about our anniversary?
2 things I wanted to say. One is I love Brett's idea of you just bringing up other people, feature 2 people, and then you can just generalize it. Like, so every time my wife yells at me, I just pull up YouTube videos of Boko Haram being like, what are they doing? What's that about?
You want your anger here, not here?
Or maybe it's closer like whenever anybody's like, you think you have it bad? Think about Rwanda. Maybe that's the conceit that the joke needs. I
had a thought a while ago about the worst person, because people are always like, oh well, I'm not like this and so. Well, at least I'm whether it's to not tell you to not feel bad about your problems, or you try to not feel bad about your own things. You're like, but then I was like, but there's someone out there who's like, I got it the worst, and And I just like thinking of that person. You're like, well, at least I'm not so and so. Like, wow, you know, I still at least got food in my belly. And there's just someone who's like within an inch of death. Be like, I'm the worst. And that person isn't
starving, has AIDS. You know,
and there's like a buzzer just picking at them, and they're like, I think I got it the worst. And they don't last long. There's always going to be a new worst person because that person's definitely only got a few moments to live, most likely. Mm-hmm. I just like thinking about that person.
Well, I just want to give that person a Facebook account and have them be like FML, am I right? And nobody can comment on that. Everybody's got to be like, yeah, I agree, man. It sucks. I feel bad for you.
What if they're still an optimist and they're like, at least I'm young.
I like the idea too. There's a 100% track that like this person's life is so bad that every comment also just hates him. It's like, fuck you, racist. You're like, oh no. They can't even post something.
So I guess the premise would be, is there a line to whataboutism?
Yeah, that is the most clear and concise way to arrive at that humor.
It always feels like Nazis is a place that people go. Like that feels like the bottom rung of like calling somebody a bad thing is like that person is being a Nazi, you know? Mm-hmm. But does that mean that there was like a worst Nazi? Like if the Nazis were the worst group, does that mean that one of the
Hitler.
Nazis was
Hitler?
Yeah, I think he had a name.
Really?
It may have been Hitler.
As soon as Rob leaned in, I was like, he's going to say what needs to be said.
Gosh, I'm going to get back to you, Jarret, but I'm going to try to think of the worst Nazi.
Maybe like a leader, somebody who was really in charge of everything.
You know, not Goebbels, but like maybe worse, maybe even, who knows?
You know, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time arguing against that logic, guys. But I think it's funnier to think about like, all right, instead of the guy who organized all the Nazis, because that seems like a gimme, you know, he's like all of the atrocities that the individual Nazis then get routed to him, you know, he's kind of like the accumulation of all the Nazi badness. I think of like the rank and file Nazis, like there has to be a worst one. I think it's a funny idea. You know? Yeah,
the guy who like Hitler calls into the office, and when he leaves, he's like, "That guy's." I mean, he's a good soldier, but I would not want to be on his bad side.
Everyone's just like, you know, like putting people in the gas chamber and everything. This guy like is he Buffalo Billed like a Jewish person, and he's like, "Look at me, everyone!" And all the Nazis are like, "Oh God,
Jesus!
What did you do?" What? Look at me, I'm a Jew. Oh.
God, not cool, man.
Stop it. That is not cool. I can't tell if you guys are horrified or not. Leedy's the only one who's
I think Leedy's horrified. I think
a little bit.
A friend of mine, to get off this real quick, and maybe forever.
I take no responsibility.
No, of course. I
take zero responsibility.
A friend of mine and I had a similar like thought process, but it had to do with like Thanos or like other like evil villains in movies, because we accept certain evil things in movies, but not other things, you know? So like, you know, if Thanos was like killing people, but then also just like used a racial slur, everyone's like, bro, what are you doing? Why? That's not like, I thought you were bringing balance, not being a dick. Don't do that. Don't say that. What?
Well, that's it for me, everybody.
All right. I love the getting out of a fight. I do want you to work on that. Getting out of a fight by pointing out other worse.
There are worse people in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now it's time for Leedy to show us her drawings. Time for Leedy to show us what she's done. Time for Leedy to do some magic with her hands.
Yay!
Wonderful.
I think thumb would have worked in there for a rhyme.
Yeah, a lot of stuff would have worked in there.
Fingers and thumbs.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So first up.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's great. White guy. Doesn't have it so bad.
First one we got a decrepit old man who is being eaten by a vulture, looking on his phone, posting FML, fuck my life.
Then I have, does this toast look like a dick?
That's perfect. That face is my whole vibe today, guys.
We got Jarret talking to an alien who's got his eyebrow cocked and his arms crossed. While Jarret shows up, holds up a dick-shaped piece of toast and says, "Does this toast look like a dick?"
Then I have, could we not record an ep on the road, please? What about Rob? that
guy.
This is us going, can we not record an episode on the road? And then Rob just standing there, and then fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And Rob looks sad.
Push in on Rob.
Then I've got the baby sweet money.
They're in a bird's nest.
Yeah, that's how the rich raise their children, in birds' nests and feeding them money.
Oh my god. Silver spoon.
We have 3 babies in a bird's nest being fed money.
Yeah.
Look at that angle.
That's my new onstage persona.
I'm so sorry. Jarret in a white jacket with sunglasses on, arms crossed, microphone in hand, and it says, bitch.
And it's a great low angle shot. So yeah, Jarret looks larger than life.
Then I have, let go! No,
This is exactly what I was envisioning. Just, he's so put off. He's like, you're fucking with me. And you're like, no. I like how you've incorporated Brett's idea of him just looking decrepit. He's got like a terrible little mustache. His jeans are torn. And clearly this proselytizer does not want him to be part of this religion.
I love where you've gotten to this, where it's like, it almost looks like he's trying to get the Bible, like the answers in the Bible. And these guys love giving the Bible away, but this guy's like, no, you can't have this because you're being a jerk.
I love it.
This is a preacher who is annoyed that this person wants to know so much about Jesus. This person is clawing at him while he holds the Holy Bible.
He's
saying,
like,
tell me who Jesus is.
Then I have private bitch.
This is just a good drawing of Matt Damon, and it says private bitch face. And he
has a bitch face. He has a bitch face.
Yeah, he's not affable.
It was so hard to make because first of all, drawing Matt Damon was hard, and then I was like, okay, I'll Google bitch face because I don't know exactly what it looks like, and all of the pictures are just normal people. They don't look particularly bitchy. That's just a face. Why are people so mean? That's just a face. I don't understand.
Do that Cersei Lannister.
Oh, well, that one's definitely a bitch.
Yeah, that is a bitch.
Anyways, that's it for me.
Yay!
Good job, Leedy.
Leedy
Corbin.
On all social media handles and on Twitch, Leedy Art.
Yes.
All right.
Join my
thank you so
Patreon,
much, Leedy.
please.
Join her Patreon
Yeah.
where she has content.
Patreon.com/LeedyArt. Is that what it is?
That's my Twitch. Yes. My Patreon is just my name. Just Leedy Corbin.
Leedy Corbin. Corbin.
Thank you again, Leedy. You rock. Thanks, everybody. Rob, Jarret, great episode.
Outro goes here.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
Thanks so much for watching. Check back every Monday for new episodes, or you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. If you want to help support the show, tell your friends how much you like Is This Anything? Or get involved, like an episode, share, comment, subscribe. If you want more Is This Anything, you got to join our Patreon at patreon.com/ITAPod. We have a ton of awesome exclusive content on there, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. Check out the links in the description, and hopefully we'll see you next week.